Great. We are live. My name is David, and this is LCE 101, Week 9, First Lesson, Section 30. What kinds of things do we have here? What is this? Nope. Okay. My broadcast has been unmuted. All right. Let's see what kind of angle we have here. What kind of angle do we need? What kind of angle do we need? This kind of angle. Right here, that kind of angle. Well, let me. I like that angle. Hey guys. Okay, so I'm working on getting this. Okay, get the Bible out. Okay, that works. Okay.
Anything specific you want me to do or anywhere you want me to sit? Or?
No, you can join in on the group if you want. Come on. Come on. Good. That's about right. Okay. Do you want to be a teacher?
Do I want to be a teacher?
What do you want to be? What do you want to do?
I want to work for the government.
The U.S. government?
Yeah, I want to work in the State Department and do like humanitarian aid for women.
Wow.
Yeah.
How will you do that?
Not sure yet.
Okay. Still have some time.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Yeah.
That's good. Terry, I got a Samsung Galaxy, man. Is that okay? Okay, guys and gals, we are live. Today is going to be a very important lesson because not only is Miss Emily looking and observing, and, not only am I recording, but also we are going to prepare you for your exam, which is 2 Thursdays from now. All right? So what's going to happen is today we're going to have our exam preparation. We're going to do an integrated speaking and listening task. After that, on Thursday we'll continue practicing. Monday we don't have a lesson because we have a congregation. Right? There's this graduation ceremony. But let me ask you a question. We don't have to have a lesson, but we could have a lesson. Who here, we're going to take a vote, who here does not want to have a lesson on Monday? Raise your hand. This has to be unanimous. Who doesn't want to have a lesson on Monday? Who wants to have a lesson on Monday? I'm not sure if you understand what I'm saying. On Monday, we don't have to have a lesson because there is an event for the university. But we could have a lesson if you want. All right, now I'm asking you, do you want to have a lesson on Monday? Now we're going to vote. If you don't want a lesson on Monday, raise your hand. Okay. If you want a lesson on Monday, raise your hand. We can have a lesson on Monday. It can be an official lesson. I can get paid. That's great. If you don't show up, fine. But you do get an absence. Because it has to be official. Right, so I'm going to say it one more time. We can have a lesson on Monday. But it has to be official, so then I can get paid. All right. That means, well, if you show up, you show up. Good. If you don't show up, you get an absence. That's okay too. All of you can afford an absence, right? Well, most of you. Luke cannot. Right? Maybe he cannot. Now let's vote again. If you want a lesson on Monday, raise your hand. If you don't want a lesson on Monday, raise your hand. Let's not have a lesson on Monday. That's fine. You do your independent learning. Let's get it done. Let's do it well. All right. So next week, next Thursday, 2 Thursdays from now, we have our assessment. All right. So again, we have today's lesson, then we have Thursday's lesson. Next Monday, you don't have class. Then 2 Thursdays from now, you have your assessment. We are going to work on preparing you for your assessment today. So, where is it? We have a good and curious integrated listening and speaking task that I developed this morning. It worked pretty well in my first lesson, and it's based on this book, and I'll tell you about this book shortly. There will be listening and speaking components. This will prepare you for your exam, and it's going to be fun. You're going to think. It's very long. All Alright, this is going to be very, very feeble. Alright, so we're just doing one thing, but it involves many subtasks. After that, we'll do the 2-minute feedback. These are the objectives. Hopefully, you'll have an awareness of your independent learning weaknesses, areas for your improvement. 2, you'll be able to express your opinions in discussions. 3, you'll be able to identify main points in listening, and you'll be able to listen actively. Any questions? Wow, this is exciting. All right, take out a piece of paper. You need to write 12 answers on this piece of paper, and then you're going to give it to someone else. All right, so you need a piece of paper that you can write 12 answers on, and you can give to someone else.
You have a piece of paper? I have paper.
Carl, instructions.
Yeah.
Instructions.
We are going to
You
write
have a piece of paper.
We are going to write 12 answers from the piece of paper. Then show it to them.
So you're going to get a piece of paper, you're going to write 12 answers on it, then you're going to give it to someone else. What's that? What is it?
Letter of labor. Request for leave next week.
Okay. Right, just keep it. If you fail by attendance, then you move. So, pieces of paper, right? Let me show you the questions. These 5 questions come from one chapter in this book entitled I Can Read. Other 5 questions come from another chapter in this book called The Great Teacher of the Great People. And finally, there are 2 bonus questions. Emily, if you want, you can also take part in this task. Now I'm going to explain the context of these questions. So, my friend has this book, and I'm reading this book. And this is a very special book. This book was written in 1936 by this man from Germany. And this is a book called A Little History of the World. It's about the history of the world. And what makes this book special is that this book uses very simple, clear English to explain the history of the world. I think this is suitable for your level. All right? In addition, hi Sam, sorry. That's all right. Can you sit over there? Billy, can you explain to him what to do? So, this is a book called A Little History of the World. It is about the history of the world. It was written in 1936 by a German. This book uses very simple, clear English to explain the history of the world. This man wrote the book for little children. All right, so he wrote this book using very clear, simple English because it was supposed to be read to children. So the style is as if he were speaking. All right, so it's a very informal spoken language style. Very simple, clear English for children. Okay? I'm going to be reading you 2 chapters from this book. It's a really good book. And you're going to answer these questions. Any questions? You need paper, bro. You need something to write on. Billy, did you explain to him what he needs? You need paper? Can someone get Sam some paper, please?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. So I'm going to be reading you something akin to a bedtime story now. All right? Oh. Ready? You do not have to answer in complete sentences. Okay? Do not show each other your answers. You're going to be marking each other's papers later. All right? Here we go. Hello, where are you? Bum, 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 bum. Okay. I can read. How do you do it? Why, every school child knows the answer. You spell out the words. Yes, all right. But what exactly do you mean? Well, there's an I, and then a C, and an A, and an N, which spells can, and so on. And with 26 letters, you can write anything down. Anything? Yes, anything. In any language? Just about. Isn't that amazing? With 26 simple signs, each no more than a couple of squiggles, you can write down anything you like, be it wise or silly, angelic or wicked. It wasn't anything like as easy for the ancient Egyptians with their hieroglyphs, nor was it for the people who used the cuneiform script, for they kept on inventing new signs that didn't stand just for single letter sounds, but for whole syllables or more. The idea that each sign might represent one sound, and that just 26 of those signs were all you needed to write every conceivable word, was a wholly new invention, one that can only have been made by people who did a lot of writing. Not just sacred texts and songs, but all sorts of letters, contracts, and receipts. These inventors were merchants, men who traveled far and wide across the seas, bartering and trading in every land. They lived quite near the Jews, in the ports of Tyre and Sidon, cities much larger and more powerful than Jerusalem, and quite as noisy and bustling as Babylon. And in fact, their language and their religion were not unlike those of the peoples of Mesopotamia, though they didn't share their love of war. The Phoenicians, for this was the name of the people of Tyre and Sidon, made their conquests by other means. They sailed across the seas to unknown shores, where they landed and set up trading posts. The wild tribes living there brought them furs and precious stones in exchange for tools, cooking pots, and colored cloth. For Phoenician craftsmanship was known throughout the world. Indeed, their artisans had even helped in the construction of Solomon's temple in Jerusalem. Most popular of all their goods was their dyed cloth, especially the purple, which they sold throughout the world. Many Phoenicians stayed in their trading posts on foreign shores and built towns. Everywhere they went, they were welcomed, in Africa, Spain, and in southern Italy, on account of the beautiful things they brought. Nor did they ever feel cut off from home, because they could write letters to their friends in Tyre and Sidon, using the wonderfully simple script they had invented, which we still use today. It's true. Take this B, for example. Whoa! It is almost identical to the one used by the ancient Phoenicians 3,000 years ago, when they wrote home from distant shores, sending news to their families in those noisy, bustling harbor towns. Now you know this, you'll be sure not to forget the Phoenicians. Okay, that's it for the first chapter. This is what I want you to do. I want you to exchange papers with the person sitting next to you. Okay? So please exchange. You too. You too. Yeah. Carl, Emily, good. What we're going to do is I'm going to call on you. give me an answer. Check your partner's paper. If it's correct, give them a mark. If not, don't give them a mark. Alright. Ready. This is going to be exciting. 1. How many letters does the author say you need to write anything down? Luke.
26.
Good. 26. 26 letters. 2. With what term or word does the author substitute the term or word letters? Matthew. Okay. So this author uses another word instead of letters to describe these 26. Alright. Carl?
Sign.
Okay, not just one, but
Symbol.
Single sign. Single sign.
listen to me carefully. Not just one sign, but
Sign.
good. Alright. Signs. So, this author substitutes letters with signs. Alright, so if your partner has written down signs, good. Give them a mark. What does the author say each letter represents? One letter, one Terry.
Sound.
Good. So each letter represents a sound. One letter, one sound. Okay, one sound, a sound. 4. What is the name of the people who developed this letter invention? Okay, this was said often. Okay. Sam.
Merchant.
This is why we need letters. Anyone?
Finish.
Good. Mandy. Loud. Okay. Look closely at your partner's writing. If what they spelt sounds similar to Phoenicians, give them a mark. If what they spelt sounds similar to Phoenicians, give them a mark. It doesn't have to be spelled correctly. If what they wrote sounds like Phoenicians, give them a mark. Andy. Okay, so 4, Phoenicians. 5, what did these people do? Were they police officers? Were they teachers? No. Stephanie, 5.
Trade.
Okay, so if you have traders, right? Traders, that's okay. What's a term that the author used?
Trading.
Okay, they were trading, they were traders. Okay, they were business people, right? Okay, that's okay too.
Merchant.
Good, they were merchants. All right, that's the term that the author uses to describe what these people did. Merchants, traders. From that word we get merchandise. Alright? Okay. So if you have this or this or this, give them one. Alright. Now return the papers, please. This is what I want you to do in your pairs. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. I'm going to give you 1 minute. I want you to tell me what the author was doing. What was the purpose of this chapter? He wanted to explain something. Okay? He wanted to explain something. So what was the author explaining in this chapter? That's my question. I want you to answer it in pairs. I'll say it one more time. In pairs, I'm giving you 1 minute. Tell me what the author was trying to explain in this chapter. You can use at most 3 sentences. Billy, instructions.
and discuss what actually the speaker are saying.
You have 1 minute. You need to explain what the author was trying to explain. All right? Summarize what the author's purpose was in writing this chapter. Go ahead, 1 minute. Okay, timer. Oh, my timer. Timer. No. Countdown. Give me 45 seconds. Graders. Business people. Good. Ready? I'm going to call on you. At most 3 sentences. What was the author trying to explain? What was his purpose? Scorpio.
How's the letter appear, and what people use that for, and each letter has different combination.
Okay. So I think what's important in your answer is that the author's trying to explain how letters are used. Good. How they appeared. Can you say that again? Can you use different words? How letters...
How letters be created.
Okay, good. How letters were created. How letters were invented. Okay, good. So the author is trying to explain how letters were invented. All right? Not only how they were invented, but how they are used. Any questions? Good. Now I'm going to read you the next chapter. It's called The Great Teacher of a Great People. Take a look at these questions. You will be answering them. At the end of this chapter, you can also answer these questions as well. Okay? So you can answer all 7 after I'm done reading. Can you guys hear me when I read from here? Okay. Oh, I need to show you something too. It's important. Okay. There's a picture at the beginning of this chapter. Okay? Just look carefully. This will help you to think about. I don't. Is it Uncle Chow? Is it Uncle Chow? Is it Chow Gong? Who is this guy? Uncle Chow? Uncle Chow? Who is this guy?
Emperor.
Great teacher. Okay. Yes, it is the toy son. Okay. Ready? The great teacher of a great people. You don't have to write complete sentences. When I was a schoolboy, China was to us, as it were, at the other end of the world. At most, we had seen the odd picture on a teacup or a vase, so that we imagined a country of stiff little men with long plaits down their backs and artful gardens full of humpbacked bridges and little turrets hung with tinkling bells. Of course, there never was such a fairyland, although it is true that for more than 200 years, until 1912, Chinese men were made to wear their hair plaited in a pigtail, and that we first learnt about them through delicate objects of porcelain and ivory, made by skilled craftsmen. From their palace in the capital, emperors had ruled over China for more than 1,000 years. The fabled emperors of China, who called themselves the Son of Heaven, just as the Egyptian pharaoh called himself Son of the Sun. But at the time I'm going to talk about, around 2,500 years ago, all this was yet to come, though China was already a vast and ancient kingdom. In its fields, many millions of hard-working peasants grew rice and other crops, while in the towns, people strolled through the streets in sumptuous silken gowns. Over all these people, a king ruled, and beneath him, many princes who governed the many provinces of this immense country, which was larger than Egypt and larger than Assyria and Babylon put together. But soon these princes had become so mighty that the king could no longer command their obedience. They were constantly at war with each other, the big provinces gobbling up the smaller ones. And because the empire was so vast in all its corners, the Chinese people spoke different languages. It would probably have fallen apart altogether had they not had one thing in common. This was their script. But wait a minute, you say. If they all spoke different languages, how could using the same script make any difference? Well, Chinese writing is special. You can read and understand it even if you don't know a single word of the spoken language. That must be magic. No, absolutely not. It is really quite simple. Instead of writing words, you write things. If you want to write sun, you make a picture like this. Hello. Then you can read it in any language. Sun in English, sol in Spanish, or ji in Mandarin Chinese. Everyone who knows the sign will know what it means. Now I'll show you how to make the sign for tree. Again, it is quite easy. Just a couple of strokes like this. Hello. In Mandarin, it is pronounced mu, but you hardly need know the sign to guess it is a tree. All right, you say, I can see that works quite well for things you can draw, but what if you want to write white? Do you just paint a blob of white paint? And what if you want to write east? You can hardly draw a picture of east. On the contrary, you'll see that it's all quite straightforward. We can write white by drawing something that is white. In this case, a sunbeam. A stroke coming out of a sun stands for white, blanc, blanco, high, and so on. And east? East is where the sun rises, behind the trees. So I draw a picture of a sun behind a tree. That is clever, isn't it? Well, it is and it isn't. There are two sides to everything. For when you think how many words and things there are in the world, in Chinese, each one has its own sign which must be learned. There are already more than 40,000 of them, and some are really complicated and hard to learn. So I think we should congratulate our Phoenicians on their 26 letters, don't you? However, the Chinese have been writing like this for many thousands of years, and their signs are read in many parts of Asia, even where no Chinese is spoken. And this meant that the thoughts and principles of a great man of China were able to spread quickly and influence many people. So you should be able to answer these questions. Just give you 30 seconds, and then we'll switch. Wow. That's a lot of talk. All right, this is what I want you to do. Switch papers, please. With your partner. Ah, great. This is so beautiful. Switch, please. Yeah. Okay, good. Yes, ready? Yeah, okay. Here we go. According to the author, how did Westerners first learn of the Chinese people? Catherine? Don't know. Pictures. Okay, good. Now let's think about pictures. We're getting closer. We're warmer now. There's a picture here. All right, there's a picture. Pictures everywhere. Where were the pictures? Okay, that's a clue. In addition, think about your own lives. Think about what you know about Chinese history. Good. Porcelain.
Porcelain and ivory.
Hmm? Excuse me?
Porcelain and ivory.
Porcelain and ivory. They found out through art, right? Different objects, vases, and things made of porcelain, things of ivory, these works of art, in essence. So things that the Chinese people made their way to Europe. And that's how people started learning about these Chinese people. There were no Chinese people in Europe hundreds and hundreds of years ago, but there were things made in China. Okay? So if you have art or porcelain or ivory, give your partner a tick. So we learn about the Chinese through the artistic objects that they made. Porcelain or ivory. Ready? Although the Chinese share a common script, what don't they share, Karen? This is your life. This is China. We are China right now. Although the Chinese share a common script, they share something, right? And he mentions it. Think about your own lives. Think about the people around you. What didn't they share? Let's go, Mandy.
They got different language,
Okay, you're very, very close. Now you have to be very specific and qualify this language. Which language? Okay. Let me say it one more time. Although the Chinese share a common script, what did they share? What kind of language?
Spoken language.
Good. Spoken language. They don't share the same spoken language. That's why you have Cantonese, you have, Toisanhua or Qiujiahua or Putonghua or Shanghai or whatever. They don't share the same spoken language. Good. Spoken language, that's the key. Spoken. Speaking. All right, 3. Can you read and understand Chinese if you don't know the spoken language? All right, ready? We're going to take a vote. Can you read and understand Chinese if you don't know the spoken language? Who says no? Raise your hand. Who says yes? Raise your hand. You are right. And the reason for that is the answer to number 4. In non-Chinese languages, people write words. I'm going to write words right here. Words. What does the author say people write in Chinese? Let's go, Ashley. What do people write in Chinese? These are not words. Remember that. Good. Pictures. Okay. Good. Pictures. He also uses another word. Things. All right. So I'm going to draw an equation now. This is very important. All right. Do not confuse your words. Words are not letters or signs. Words are also not pictures or things. This is not a word. It's a picture or a thing that represents a word. Okay? So it's just a picture. It's like, I don't know. It's like that. It's a picture. Ready? Finally, number 5. This is very curious. What does the author say is an advantage of the Chinese script? What is an advantage of this script right here? Katrina? Louder, one more time. It does influence a lot of people. Quickly. Right? Even if people don't know one of the spoken languages, it can influence people quickly. Indeed. People in Japan use Chinese characters, use this Chinese script. People in Korea also use the Chinese script. Any questions? Okay, let's get to the bonus questions now. This is very interesting. 1. Which language does the author prefer? Now we're going to vote. You have a choice. English? No. No, actually, I wrote that. No. I need to change this. Which script? Which script does the author prefer? This or this? Ready? Who says the author prefers this? Raise your hand. 3, 2, 4, 6. Who says the author prefers this? You guys are right. The author prefers letters or signs. So give your partner a tick if they wrote letters or signs. Okay. Do not say the... Well, actually, okay. Okay, now, why? He mentions this implicitly in his writing. Okay, and we'll end with this. Why does he prefer this to this? Anyone?
Because they are lucky because they only have to remember 26 words.
Good.
Letters.
26 letters, right? Good. Don't use the word words, not 26 words. Right? It's not a vocabulary list. 26 letters, right? Whereas
Unlike the Chinese, they have to remember like 4,000 words. These things.
right? They don't have to memorize 4,000 words, right? right? But you need to memorize in order to write thousands and thousands of pictures or things. Right? So he says, well, I think it's a lot easier to remember 26 letters or signs to learn this than to learn thousands and thousands of pictures or things. It's simpler, less complicated. Okay. I want you to tally the marks. It's out of 12, and then give it back to your partner. Tally up the marks, and then return it to your partner. Okay. We're going to check the results, and then I'll tell you how my other class did. Ready? Who here got 12 correct? Good.
I just got another one.
Good. I like that. Who here got 11? Who here got 10? Good. Great, excellent. Who here got 9? All right. Nice work. Whoops, sorry. Wow. Do you think my other class did better or worse than you guys?
Yes.
Who says better? 1. Who says worse? You're right. Their high marks were... What were their high marks?
Don't tell me 8.
1, 1, 1.
No way.
You guys did a good job. Cool. This is a really fun book. It's good for me law people too, because he provides a history of philosophy. As well. Very, very simple and clear English. A history of the origins of philosophy in Greece. The origins of Greece and the origins of philosophy. Okay. Any questions? Okay, take a break. Let's come back at 2:29.
做咗未啊？係啊。識點做咯？你做邊個？做咩啊？係啊。唔中意歌。發條橙啊！發條橙。我做發條橙啊。係啊 ，Clockwork Orange。係啊 ，Stanley Kubrick 發條橙。咩科嚟嘅？得發條橙係啊係啊，你睇過？聽過啦。高真三寶嚟。係咩？三寶嚟。但係你讀咩科都有得發條橙㗎。我哋要做，唔係我哋做緊攝影評，咁就佢係揀一部戲研究。即係揀咩戲得嘅？專業盤片得嘅。係啊。要講有咩 subversive 有咩顛覆咯，同埋現狀有咩衝擊咯，佢現狀點樣用咗 subversive 嘅嚟用個 reading 嗰個角度即係用咩科嚟啊？抽草嘅要什麼語言咧？佢哋啦，要寫啊，你高登開個 post 大家人幫你寫。高飛啊！飛風。
今日係我今個星期三晏晝我夜晚就一種逃避嘅日子啊，即係
我喺度喎，我喺度喎，我哋騎劫你個蘇緊要，騎劫咩啊？溝草咩啊？溝草。星期五交我 presentation 加106 essay， 2000字2800，睇下做咗未
That's good.
好玩你寫我個，我唔識寫啊而家。我唔知點樣。
Let's do,
我反而識最尾個題。
we are still live. Whoa, hello. Yeah, what's up?
I have to go to Japan next week.
Okay.
So I can attend 2 lessons.
Which ones?
Monday do we have class?
Yeah, we don't have class.
Friday. I must stop Thursday because I
Okay.
Japan for
Great.
first
If you fail by attendance, you need to show this to someone. Keep it right now, okay? Keep it. And if you fail by attendance, then you need this. Oh my goodness, why is it so bright? Ah.
我而家諗到先
我咪鬧緊中文啊！我鬧緊英文啊！
唔係鬧中文，即係意思係中文點解有啲中文你一聽咧，你係點講咧？你講得會唔順口咧？即係你唔會講得咁乜嘢㗎嘛？因為嗰啲係中文㗎嘛，有啲唔係真係中文㗎嘛，即係嗰啲扮學術嗰啲中文咧，嗰啲。
個名講成點？
呢個中呢個咩你聽陳文講嘅，知咩中文？中文
有啊，
蝕咗啦，因為依家嗰啲係人工嘅中文嚟嘅，唔純粹係執。
加油啊！你溝重嗰個。如果你個名邊條
我創師斷咗喎呢度。
真嘅，我哋下個星期上嘅。
聽講佢哋成班上文語喎。
因為我哋去冇人啊嘛，所以1到3。佢個係都唔喺度。
嗰個溝重好難做，
啲裝唔喺度啊！
交俾啊！交俾啊！
禮拜3
你係安平啊嘛？問嘅個 P 啊，唔係個 P。我哋偉大嘅話。
我哋貴係短裝，
唔係真係係喎，你入埋嚟咯。係啊，我哋係我哋出入 Facebook。你頭先話你想睇多次㗎？我話你唔係先，我要鬧咗。你自己有鬧，你自己有鬧。
禮拜3。聽日禮拜2啊。
intro 得跟住溝通嘅咩？G1ABC
跟住要講呢個名單係啲咩嚟㗎？我解釋清楚先會講。
講呢啲嘢喎，差唔多。design 啊，符號係咩啊？符號咯，
中文可以 P 去查。
任何嘢都係一個符號，文字係一個符號，肢體語言係一個符號，係啊，好多嘢係符號。
中文係個 P。
係啦。
sign 咯，sign 係signify㗎。
即係話
識列法分別係點解
？signify 同 signify 夾埋就係 sign 咯。
識列法係點解
？signify 有依啲嘅，即係 signify 咧符指人嘅符乜啦。signify 即係你見到嘅 image。
好變咯啊
image 咯，見到嘅嘢。跟住 signify 就係佢背後嘅 meaning 咯，一個符號，即係你見到譬如一支紅旗咁樣，即係夾緊紅旗，跟住你其實 signify 嘅一支紅旗咯。
即係嗱，譬如嗰個膠嘅，佢個 signify 咧就一嚿膠啦。
signify 就係你想講個字啊，呢個係字。即係你個膠，呢個衫係膠咯。膠你點解會 related to 個後面嗰個 meaning？嗰個後面 meaning 就係 signifier 咯。
即係後面個 meaning 就係呢個啊嘛，一個好乜啊嘛，咁呢就 signifier。
係啊，再
你講都有啊。交俾阿呢個老總計。
你講
我 Facebook
羅蘭咩單元嗰個係咪羅蘭 Master 啊？我唔識啊，好似係類似，好似係語言學嗰個 linguistic 嚟。
頭先我話想睇多次。
呢個就signifier。
Alright, we are back. We are live.
咁但係 signifier 有唔同意思啊嘛，即係我哋呢個年代就 signifier 就呢個，但係我哋阿媽個年代就真係一嚿膠咁大。
你喺唔同 context 底下唔同。
Page 53.
我唔知係唔係。
We need page 53.
Alright.
先過晒。
最緊要係你千祈唔好而家識得最多嘢，中文有幾邊而家識得最唔多嘢。
我咪你玩緊啦。
Guys and gals, in your groups, I'm going to give you 1 minute.
你同喺 library 講啦。
Please list the differences between a discussion and a debate. They are different. Okay. So on the top of page 53, in groups, brainstorm some differences between a discussion and a debate. I'll give you 1 minute. Catherine, instructions. Good. All right. Go. You need differences. They are different.
書生俾我嘅牛料你自己好唔好？
How do you compare them? Good. I like the word argument. That's used in one of them.
But discuss there is no stand for
No specific side. And also debate you need to beat people.
Stance,
Follow some
argument,
Yes.
are used in one of these.
Okay.
discussion is best.
今晚係
做乜嘢啊
可唔可以咁講咧？discussion
10 seconds, and I will call on you.
邊個係嗰啲聽完之後
你？係要咁咩？
debate 咧，就一開始就
Great, good, awesome. 係
Super.
咪搞咩？咁瞓覺。
All right. Here we go.
見到你哋，我係。
Tom, what is the difference between
我開始見到你啦。
a
we think that discussions just share their point of view, but debate just to try to against or attack others.
Okay, I like that word, attacking people.
Mhm.
All right, good. Sharing versus attacking. Okay. All right. Sharing, attacking. Okay, sure. Okay, let's think about the purpose and the ultimate objective of the discussion or debate. Kit, anything to add? A difference?
No specific side. For the discussion, you can just share your opinion, but for the debate, you need to have some people or this side and the other side. This side they against each other.
Say it again.
During the discussion, you share your view, no specific side. Then, okay. But for the debate, you need to divide it into two groups. One group is that's two group people need to against others.
Okay, they need to attack. You need to take sides. Okay. Good. This group over here, anything?
Discussion is the kind of process to see which side is the best. And debate basically means you are trying to show you or your opinion is the best.
Say that again.
Okay? Discussion to see which is best. Debate, I'm the best. you are trying to show you are the best. What do you mean?
Debate, we just convince others. We just convince others with our evidence.
Which one is that?
Debate.
Okay.
Convince others.
Okay, what is the discussion then?
To reach agreement, which is the best.
Good. Okay. We're getting somewhere now. To convince people versus there's an element of convincing people in debate. There also is an element in discussion. I think is this consensus? Is that how you spell consensus?
Yes.
We have
Yeah.
debate have a winner and loser, but discussion have no winner and no loser.
Debates have winners and losers. You lose, I win. I'm right, you're wrong. Discussion, hopefully we can all win. We can all agree on something. Okay, yeah. We're getting closer to this idea that they are different. Alright? Maybe not all of you are convinced that they are different, but for the sake of this lesson and this course, they are different. We need to debate things. Any questions? Okay. We are going to prepare for a debate now.
Prefer debate. You love English or you love Chinese?
It's not really like that. It's actually a little different. Requires a little more thinking.
Just a little different.
Just. All right. I'm going to assign each group a prompt, and you need to think of reasons to support these prompts. So this group over here, which one do you want? Choice. Three. Okay. So you are going to come up with reasons for which people should learn Cantonese. Why should people learn Cantonese? Okay. This group over here, you're going to come up with reasons why people shouldn't learn Cantonese. Just think about Emily. Why shouldn't she learn Cantonese? Okay. Think about Emily too. Why should she learn Cantonese? This group over here, you're going to think about why people should learn English. Okay?
No reason.
Think about everyone here. You guys, think about reasons why people shouldn't learn English. Think about everyone here too.
In Hong Kong or with this
I don't say.
context?
I don't
Which
say.
context?
I don't say anything. Okay? That's up to you to decide. So I'm going to give you 2 minutes. You all need to write down your answers because then I'm going to split you up. Okay, so all of you need to write down your responses because I will split you up into different groups. Matthew, instructions. Okay, you have 2 minutes to think of reasons to support your prompt. Write them down. All right, Luke, instructions.
Oh, we have 2 minutes to think about the reason to support our side.
Okay, yeah. And write them down. Go ahead. Clear that. Clear.
Non-English-speaking countries
Count down.
necessary to learn.
Let's go 1:45. Set. Start. Brainstorm in your group. You will need these answers. You need these answers. Work together as a group. Brainstorm your answers. Not individual storm. Combined brainstorm. Yeah.
How to measure
Come on, guys. Talk to each other. Write down your answers.
點解唔學英文？點解人英跟 learn？其實個問題唔係咁好，即係頂
English and English.
因為香港人成日都用英文，嗰類都 OK。
Come on, Stephanie. Reap what you sow. Sow some English, reap some English.
For non-English-speaking countries, it's not necessary to speak English.
Instead that every language is supposed to be used and communicate. Once if we don't use
30
English
seconds.
to communicate.
Talk to each other, guys. We're going to be sharing this stuff soon.
Because I don't know going to survive in Hong Kong, I guess you can.
Ready? Listen carefully. Now I'm going to divide you into groups. Listen for your number. Remember your number. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you are number 1, here, 2, 3, 4. Sit together, please. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. One over here.
Who is great? Come here and see.
Sit with each other. Okay, ready? Each of you has prompts or responses for each of these points here. I want you to share them, okay? First share them and write them down. All right, share them, write them down. Sam, instructions.
Just do what you just said.
What is what I just said?
Write something down.
Write what down?
Everything they are going to say. Just write it down.
Good. So report to each other what your original group came up with. Write these things down. I'll give you 3 minutes. Go ahead.
Also for better job, and there is no reason for not learning. There's no reason. Is learning thing
If you don't need it, and you learn it, you are learning things for nothing. Discrimination is bad.
In fact, for
And we just learn
necessary
a
to
lot.
learn English because
But not
language is
Spanish,
just
French,
a tool of communication with
you are discriminating.
Yes, you're right. Cantonese is not Chinese. Remember that. Talk about Cantonese.
It's tough to see many foreigners and communicate with them. It's not necessary.
No,
No, that's not what I want to say.
My point is, why people should learn Cantonese is because as people who live in Hong Kong, we divided to native speaker and non-native speaker. And for native speaker, of course, is mother language, and people who born in China and especially Hong Kong should understand the culture and the history behind this language, because it is the only special thing that
Only to use it for English class.
only got. And for non-native speaker, if you ever want to live in Hong Kong, I think 90% of people can understand or speak Cantonese. So that if you really want to get a job,
Write this stuff down.
get a job for studies, learning Cantonese is really necessary.
I think people shouldn't learn Cantonese because the pronouns of a word in Cantonese is very complicated and people are difficult to learn how to pronounce it correctly. Because a word they have different the pitch of voice for different words is totally different and not the same. For the non-native speaker, they're difficult to catch up how to pronounce the word and
Alright, guys and gals, two things. First, I forgot to mention this. Cantonese and Chinese are not the same. Alright?
Yes.
Two, learning English and Cantonese, they include reading, writing, speaking, and listening. Alright? Any questions? Okay. Turn to page 57. We're going through tasks in the book, but we're using different content. You have reasons, all right, for learning English, for not learning English, for learning Cantonese, and for not learning Cantonese. What I want you to think about now are counter arguments. So what someone says people should learn English because of this? What is your response? Okay? So what people say people shouldn't learn Cantonese because of this? What is your response? Your counter argument. So, for example, let's do number 4. Back up over there. What is one reason why people shouldn't learn Cantonese? Okay, say it again.
Because the Cantonese is too specific to use. Just use the some few countries just like Hong Kong or Thailand or Hong Kong or
Okay, so your argument is it's only used in a few places. My counter argument is, in an absolute sense, lots of people use Cantonese. Hundreds of millions of people speak Cantonese. There are a lot of people in Guangdong province, more so than in the state of New York, in most of the United States, in fact. Lots of people speak Cantonese. So that's my counter argument, right? You say, okay, well, it's only used in certain areas, but my counter argument is, well, there are a lot of people in those areas. There are a lot of people that you can use Cantonese with. Okay. That's an example of a counter argument. This group over here, what's one reason why people should learn English?
Because English is an international language. If you know that, you can have a better job or for the exchange. Also, there is no reason to not learning English. No reason.
Okay. Let me just go to one of your points. English is an international language. My counter argument would be most people are not international, or they have nothing to do with things between nations. Think about your lives. Think about the opportunities that most people have in Hong Kong to do something between nations. I think a majority of Hong Kong people are just one nation. They're not even a nation, one state, one district. A lot of people in this world just live in one country all their lives. Not only one country, just one place, one geographic region within their country. So while English is an international language, I think most people are not international. There's no use for English for them because they actually are not international.